Hi everyone, my name is Vincent and welcome to this second part of my tutorial about the Moutain Painter, which is part of a bigger series of tutorials about how to make terrains in Substance Designer 5, a tool made by Allegorithmic, in case you don't know. So in the previous, this is, as I said, the second part, so in case if you have not seen the first one, I invite you to click on the link that should be up here somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but click on it to see the first part, because you have to start to do the first part before this one in order to get this wonderful tool. So just to make a quick recap of what we have done last time, actually we built a mountain painter, which is just a tool to paint mountains. So how it works is basically you have an SVG map here, and you just by painting on it you can create mountain on your image, something like this. Of course, this is a temporary result and we are far from what we want to achieve, which is more something like that. So this video will be about how to tweak this graph in order to get first more control and to get shapes that are looks a bit more sorry, looks a bit more like mountains and less like pack of sands. I don't know exactly what it is. So to recap again, what we did last time is actually we took a cell 1 shape that we invert and we divided, subdivided in order to get that, and to kind of mimic a fractal pattern. But the thing is, what we have to do is, as each level is diminishing in size, we have also to diminish the strength of the blend. So what we'll do is we go here, we'll put them again at 0, because they're almost at 0 but they are not strong enough, meaning that some of them are a bit too low right now. So as you see, I put everything at, this one is 0, this one is 0, and this one is 1. So here you have basically nothing. So the first one, it's important to put it at 1, and even the second one. You can play a bit with it. Maybe we'll play also, we put multiply just to see. Okay, with multiply, you see, you start to get shapes that are a bit more interesting. So I will push that, and here you get some mountain shape. Maybe it's too strong. Let me check overlay. No, you see, overlay doesn't work for this one. It really depends on the. I won't say there is specific rules for that, but in some case, if you want really to dive a bit into the mountain, it's better to put a multiply. So yes, here something interesting. I will just diminish the strength to 0.4, for example. Yeah, so here you see you start to get some interesting curve. Once again, I will change something on my SVG map first, because it's a bit too wide. So I will go and take like 4 pixel value. I will remove all the ones which are already existing, and I will do a mountain like that. Oops, sorry. So 4, perfect. I will do something like this. Okay, so I have something a bit sharper. So once you have done that, as I say, you went here, put it. I'm going to put it to multiply as well to the first one. To multiply, and you see it's kind of getting because you know multiply is like always diminishing the values. It's never higher than what it was at the beginning. So at the end we lose some of the height map strength. So in order not to tweak, we can put a level at the end, but the thing with the level is each time we change the value we'll have to tweak it and set the level. So we are going to use the auto level while we work here. So each time we change something, it will put the proper value. And here, once again, you have artifacts, is because you want to put them too high. So it's a bit costly, but at least it allows to use the sorry, all the levels of the height map. So here, obviously, multiply was too strong, so I will put overlay again. Overlay I don't like. Soft light. Okay, soft light is good. So after, once we have done that, we are going to this one. This one we say we like it. We are going to put something a bit stronger, so it gives some more height variation, which is cool. Let's go to the next one, so which is an overlay. And if we doing that, you see, so we say we are going to put it to 0.5. And here I'm going to do a pass where I will divide by 2 each time. So 1, 0.5, 0.25. Let's say 0.12. It's strong. Let's see that. Okay, you see here, we just make some tests. It's quite raw as you see, but that's cool. That makes something quite interesting. And here 0.06. Okay, so I get something way more interesting than before. The thing is, if you take real mountain reference, I don't have any here, but let's find some here. Sorry. See if we type mountain, for example, and get here. Let's see this image, for example. This one is quite cool. You always see that generally the mountain is always a bit rougher at the top than at the bottom, and it goes. And if you look at the valley here, you see that it's even smoother, which is normal because it's the erosion. The water, for example, is going down top to bottom, and the more it goes to the bottom, the more it erodes. All what you see, it depends on this and the inclination as well. So we have to find some ways to make it a bit less rough here. Once again, here you see some pattern that we are going to break just after. So one of the stuff we can do to do that is an easy way. First, before to do that, what I will do in order to be more pleasing to work, I just made a fast flat ground, which is really simple actually. It's just a Perlin noise on which I do a level just to diminish the strength. Here on the cloud, same thing, that I blur a bit, and I diminish a lot the levels, and I'm going to just to blend them with the result we have. It's just because, you know, it will be cooler. So right now, once I have that, I just use a blender. I will use an histogram scan here, and what I'm going to do is put our actual mountain at the top, flat ground here, and I will reuse the mountain again, but I will go through the sorry, the histogram scan, and then I will move up the value and put this contrast a bit higher, way higher actually. So especially the value way higher and the contrast. So right now, once we have that, okay, so you see right now you have a floor, so it's better, and it allows you also to see if the transition is fine. So we keep this here, and this we'll forget because it's not really part of the tutorial. So what we are going to do right now is, we know we are going to do quite the same way. We are going to use an histogram scan and the levels, to smooth a bit below the mountain. So what you can do is first you take this level here, and do I do it? Yeah, I will do it before the auto level, so we keep correct. Actually, I should have done the same here, but that's fine. So let's use first a blur node. So we are going to use a blur HQ. I do a simple version here, and I'm going to blur the result. If you see the result directly, so it gives you, it's a bit strong. Huh? So if I do something like that, for example, you see that like it's obviously smooth everything, but of course we don't want that because we lose everything. But what we can do right now is to use a blend node like that. You put at the bottom the blurred one, and at the top the sharp one, and as a mask, once again, we are going to use this. So it's way too strong, so we're going to use once again an histogram scan. So we get some more control. So we're going to make some space here, like this, and we are going to use an histogram scan for the mask to see if we can fix it in a better way. So here it's full black, so we don't want that. Okay. Start to push it a bit, and you see it's already better. It's that. See if we compare to before, still a bit strong. Let's see if we can. We're going to push a bit the contrast, and like this. So we have to play a bit. So I'm happy with that so far. So here we go. We have some nice mountain. What we could do right now is to add some more details and on it. So maybe it's too strong. I don't know what you think. I'm just going to check something first. Default edit. I'm looking the strength of the material. No, that's fine. Another stuff that you would like to do, just let me check here. I did it. Is I added some more details here, as if like the rocks were ripping off. I don't know how to say that exactly, but it gives a nice effect. But if we compare first from here to here, we are quite close. Maybe the transition here is a bit weird. What we can do to do that, to get something a bit better, is to go back here. So either we push the intensity of the blur, something way stronger, actually 20. Okay. See, if you put it to 20, you get something way stronger. What you can do as well is here. Actually, no, that's fine. Let's make something great. So yes, playing with the blur, we will define the intensity of how far you want to go and how smooth the transition is. So I like when it's smooth. But once again, there may be some mountains which are, maybe it's too strong. Yeah. After you can play with that to get exactly what you want. Make sure just that the border is not too rough. Okay, so yeah, just let me see how I did. Yeah, here, sorry. What I did, I used, I'm just looking how I did that, and we're going to do it, because I wanted to get rid of some part, depending of the normals of the face. So yes, I used the vector warp, which is a new vector actually, obviously, and I put a normal map, and I reused one of the tiling of the cell 1. And this I used again. If I just look at that, sorry, Yeah, I just make some stuff. We're going to test. It's the best. So yeah, we want to get rid of some parts. So what you can do is going here and here is your first mountain. So what we're going to do is first calculate a normal map from here, like that, and you push the value to 20 once again to see it. So you get something like that, and you can use the new node, which is the vector warp, which is like a bit like a slope node, except that it push according to a normal direction. So basically only the red and blue channel are used and push in the proper direction, really like a normal map, but yeah, it really shows a vector. Actually it calculates a vector. So basically once you have that, you plug sorry, you plug the normal map inside the first one, and just to be sure, yeah, and I plugged, just checking what to be sure of what I was doing. Yeah, and I plugged one of the masks here, so I will take this one according to that. So here it's way stronger, but what it does, it's really pushing. So I'm going to diminish the intensity, but it takes the pixel and push them in the direction defined by the normal map. So just by pushing them a bit, it adds a bit of detail to the final result. And another thing that I did is using a face normal map. Oops, it's facing, yeah, facing normal. What does this one is actually, I'm going to make some space. So here I will push that here, this. So you know what? I think it's time to clean a bit. So first I will call all this stuff. All this stuff, let's call it our raw mountain. So you do spacebar, add frame, command, raw mountain, like that. At least we know what it is. And here it's erosion. So let's go back to this. So this is the facing normal. So what it does, it takes actually your normal map and it analyzes it and take the, actually the more it points the camera, let's say to the top, the more it will put it in white. So it's really good for what we want to do, because we know actually the black one are the one which they have the most inclination, so we are going to use that. So we are going to invert it actually with a label this time, for example. So you just invert the outputs. You already have a node, but it will make the job. And right now what we are going to do is we are going to try to blend this with that. So actually, you know what, we don't need to, I'm just going to say okay, so we want sorry, let's think about it for 2 seconds. We want the white part not to be affected, so the not to be affected is this one, and this one we put it here, and we get here some too strong value, but let's try it. You see, of course it's way too strong. So in order to control that, actually we are going to do we are going to do the invert, so we get some control. So this we put back here, we'll put back here, wonderful, and this we put a level that we invert once again, and now we have some control, so we'll diminish that a lot to 0 first. So 0.01, let's see, start. I think you can go a bit higher. Here you not 0.02. I will do 0.05, which is too much, but what I'm going to do right now is going back to my vector warp, which is here, and I will diminish the intensity to 0.3. So we are going to fix it again, but here you see it starts to create like some stack of rock, which are quite interesting. So of course, let's go here and diminish to 0.02, 0.3. I think 0.2 is fine. Yeah, so you see it's quite subtle, but it gives you quite a good idea of how to get a mountain. So I'm going to stop here for this one. So we have quite a better mountain with nice shape. Next video I'm going to continue a bit to tweak, and also I'm going to show you how to add color to it. So we're going to start that. So I hope you like it. If it's the case, don't hesitate to reshare, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, and see you in the third part of this Mountain Maker.